am Megan. I live in Bucharest currently, and I am finishing art school now. Well, my dad is American, and my mom is Romanian, and I grew up in Washington, D.C. It's strange because I don't feel at home in Washington, and I also don't feel necessarily at home here, but I think I've gotten used to that. But I think that there's a little bit of culture shock every time. Like, I didn't know anyone at all here in the city, so I just kind of got here and then dropped myself into the urban ocean of Bucharest and kind of figured it out from there. You can show who you are through what you do or what you don't do, because I don't think anyone has to do anything. And also this what you do can also be passive. You don't have to produce something physical every day. I think that what you do can also be just mental. Oh yeah, that's a recent obsession of mine. The loom. I woke up one morning and in my head, for some reason, I was thinking about carpets and rugs. And I was like, I want to make a carpet. And so I was like, wait, I don't want to make a carpet. I want to use that machine and make something with the same technique and make something else. So now I've been every day for hours sewing on this machine, and I'm now making it's maybe like 1 meter by 1 meter, it's pretty big, of a comic about a man who's peeing in the forest and an animal sees him and attacks him. So I took some wood and I hammered it and put a bunch of nails and made the string, and then I just looked on YouTube how to loom, and it's really easy. All you have to do is change the colors. It's really, really easy, and it makes me happy. Well, I knew a little bit before from my mom and my grandmother, and from like osmosis of just like penetrating your brain, but I still do feel lost in translation. But I was also very embarrassed before about feeling, not embarrassed, but very uncomfortable with myself about feeling sort of outsider, not understanding everything. And now I've just taken control of that, and I tried not to care about that. I don't know, I don't know if this is totally true, but my observation would be that Americans are a little bit more nice at first and mean after, and Romanians are mean at first and nice after. I think in Europe in general, especially in Romania, people are totally comfortable being grouped together and like physically touching all the time.
What changed in your way of being since you moved here? Have you noticed anything?
I feel a lot more open somehow, and I think it's also growing up, because whether I was here or whether I was anywhere, I think in your early 20s you kind of become yourself, or you start to become yourself, or what you think is yourself. I mean, I don't think people really ever change, but I think that you kind of evolve into your highest being. So I don't know if that's because I live here or if it would have happened also in Washington, but I feel like since I've lived here, I've become more confident and more aware of myself and more productive. I really like humor in general. Like I'm very passionate, but these subtle changes in humor, not necessarily like this like jokes like this, but I really like this dry, weird. I really like this idea of sort of a simple subject that's done well, that's made well, but sort of not so serious. I think that people take art very seriously, like way too seriously. Things should be a little bit more light. People are very open to foreigners here. I don't really know why, but people really will accept you. Like, being American, people are very excited to talk to me. I don't know why, actually, because like, oh, America, oh, land of the free, which is just not, I don't know, for me it doesn't mean anything, but I don't know, I think a lot of places in the world are kind of the same, and problems are relative, and people are awful everywhere and nice everywhere. So from what I've seen is that in Bucharest, I think all of the creative things that are going on, people just kind of link together, hey, I'm doing this, wanna help me? Hey, I'm doing this, wanna help me? Hey, I'm having this, come join me, come exhibit this, which I think is a really nice sense of community, even if the arts community is not huge, but there's always something going on for the most part. I think that if you do things that make you happy, then you can be happy. So I think that for myself here, for the moment, for now, I feel okay. You give me pushback. I think my superpower would probably be ignoring bad feelings. I think I'm really good at adapting to the situation, no matter how bad it is. I can just block out emotions or bad feelings. If that's a superpower, I don't know. My whole life I've moved from place to place. Like I never really stayed in one place for too long. I've gotten these like twangs of homesickness for Washington, but then I realized that I'm not homesick for my house or for my school or for my certain place, but I feel like, or the place in general. I'm more homesick for the experiences that I had there and the people that I met and the sense of family or community and this love that I like that I don't have contact with anymore. But I think since I moved here, I have these nightmares, but I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. But I have these recurring nightmares, and I wake up and it's awful. But there's some animal in my bed. It's like a human animal thing that's biting my leg, like biting a little bit like this, and then after like 5 minutes, and I wake up, like in real life I wake up and it's this sort of sleep paralysis, and I see the animal but I can't move, and it's like this, and he's pulling me off my bed, and he starts speaking, and sometimes he's speaking in Romanian and sometimes he's speaking in English. Somehow when you're constantly hearing a new language and you're just thrown into a different world, and I think you're when you start dreaming in the other language that you're learning, and it becomes sort of a full body experience. I also read somewhere that once you start dreaming in your new language, that means you really know it for some reason, or your brain has taken it in.